We all remember the Amazing World of Gumball as that chaotic, candy-colored fever dream that fueled our childhood laughs. It was upbeat, absurd, and loud, until it suddenly wasn't. Behind the slapstick, this show could deliver emotional gut punches that left us staring at the screen in silence. Today, we're counting down the absolute saddest episodes in Gumball history. And if you're looking for a reason to grab the tissues, no episode hits harder than the Choices. The scene opens on the Watsons at the dinner table, but it's less of a meal and more of a full-scale insurrection. The kids are chanting for food like they're leading a medieval peasant revolt. Meanwhile, Nicole is one minor inconvenience away from going full supernova. Richard tries to help by joining the chant, which, thanks Richard, real helpful. Suddenly, the kitchen transforms into a literal war zone. Richard has somehow turned potatoes into drywall, tenderized the table instead of the steak, and ignited the stove just by standing near it. As Gumball and Richard attempt a useless stop, drop, and roll, Darwin decides to fight the fire with whipped cream. Nicole's eye starts to twitch, and suddenly the world freezes. She begins a monologue of pure exhaustion. How did I end up here? Naturally, she blames Richard, sparking a journey through her past. We see young Nicole, a straight-A student whose mother treats a 99% like a failure. She's sprinting through a park to reach a tournament that will define her life, leaping over babies and leaving a literal trail of fire in her wake. But then, she wonders, what if I made a different choice? First, she considers listening to Banana Bob's song. Result? She joins a banana cult, marries him, and eventually morphs into a banana herself, mustache and all. Hard pass. Then there's the Harold timeline. He's a toxic nightmare from second one, ruining her self-esteem until she's unrecognizable from plastic surgery and eventually ends up behind bars. Even the butterfly timeline ends in disaster, with Nicole dying of a bacterial infection thanks to a healing hug from Mr. Small. Then we see the truth. The moment she met Richard, he was stuck in a log, feeding squirrels. Love at first stupidity. She chooses him over the tournament. We get this beautiful, chaotic montage. Cloud watching, moving into a cramped apartment, a wedding without her parents, ramen for dinner, and the birth of her kids. It's messy, it's loud, and it's perfect. Nicole snaps back to reality. She looks at her chaotic family and realizes she wouldn't change a single second of it. She blasts Darwin with whipped cream, declares a food war, and the camera zooms out on the laughter. It's a reminder to cherish the beautiful mess we have. That was sentimental, but this next one is just pure cosmic dread. The Job. It starts with Nicole passed out on the lawn like she's seen the end of time. She wakes up from a nightmare where Richard actually got a job, but the nightmare is real. Richard is now a pizza delivery man. Nicole is proud, which is our first clue that the universe is about to break. Richard's technique for delivery? He eats the center of the pizza, squishes the crusts back together, and gaslights the customer. It's not just a snack, it's a felony. Gumball and Darwin go along for the ride, and things get weird fast. They deliver a pizza to a couple who thinks the box is their literal infant. Gumball drops the baby, and the sauce splatters in slow motion like a scene from a gritty war movie. Meanwhile, Richard is riding his scooter so fast, he's literally tearing the fabric of reality. Gravity reverses, colors bleed into each other, and the world begins to glitch. To save existence, Nicole has to kidnap Larry and force him to fire Richard. We see the boys glitching through different animation styles, even turning into live-action humans for a split second, which is honestly the most haunting thing in the show. Finally, Larry fires Richard for snacking on the job, the world resets, and the universe is saved. It's sad though, because we realize that for the world to survive, Richard has to be a failure. Before we get into the final two heartbreakers, if you're enjoying this trip down memory lane, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Retro Frames family. We dive deep into the shows you grew up with every single week. Next up, The Parents. This one deals with the kind of trauma that stays with you. It starts at the Elmore Mall with Nicole performing WWE moves just to get groceries. After a massive shelf collapse, she finds herself face to face with the people she's avoided for decades. Her parents. The kids, thinking they're being helpful, invite the grandparents over for dinner. The air in the house becomes radioactive. Decades of resentment explode. We find out Nicole's legal name is Doctor because her parents had such insane expectations. They pushed her so hard that at 8 years old, she felt like her life was over. The flashbacks are brutal. They missed her wedding because they went to the wrong town, and they even sent her divorce papers as an anniversary gift. By the end, the family is shattered. But as the grandparents drive away, Nicole realizes she doesn't want their excuses. She just wants her mom and dad back. They hug after 20 years of silence. It's awkward and painful, but it's real growth. Finally, we have The Origin. This is Darwin's backstory, and it is devastatingly beautiful. It all starts with a mistake. Richard accidentally flushes Darwin down the toilet. Gumball is heartbroken, refusing to let go of the empty fishbowl because he knows Darwin is coming back. Meanwhile, Darwin is lost in the sea, terrified and alone. He meets a group of catfish who laugh at the idea of a pet fish surviving the ocean. Darwin's response? Love finds a way. He begins a grueling journey, flopping across deserts and eating trash, driven purely by the bond he shares with Gumball. As Darwin nears death, Gumball's belief in him acts like a literal heartbeat. Darwin evolves, growing lungs and legs through the sheer power of emotion. When he finally reaches Elmore, he's tired, chased by animal control, and nearly gives up. But their hearts beat in sync one last time. The final reunion in the parking lot is legendary. They run toward each other in slow motion, the music swells, and they embrace. Gumball asks how he got legs, and Darwin gives the best line in the series. I don't know how, but I know why. Whether it's the origin of a brother or the reconciliation of a family, Gumball proves that love is messy, inconvenient, and absolutely worth chasing through the sewers for.